in, everyone, to episode 251 of the Battlecast podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Peng. And we got a full house today. HurricaneKaz, Twastell, PP Steve.
Wow. I literally joined and I was like, oh my God, Steve and Tristan, like in the same podcast? What is this, the Battle Cats or something?
Apparently I didn't warn everyone I was joining, but...
You literally responded to nothing. Yeah. Like you confirmed nothing.
Even I was surprised.
You just said, what time is it? And then Tristan responded and then nothing.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah. Should we do a routes check real quick for the routes bet?
You want to do that first?
I need to see what I'm doing Thursday. Am I running
that's first on the agenda.
I will not be able to join you this Thursday if I did in fact lose. But...
Well, it is. No, it's fine. Yeah. Well, you're busy this Thursday.
Yeah, I got friends in town.
What about next Thursday?
Next Thursday should be good.
Okay, well, I don't know if Ultra
even in rotation.
Yeah. Might be 2 Thursdays around.
Anyway, maybe Kaz doesn't have to make plans, you know?
True.
Excuse me.
Okay, you started at 14.
A lot of assumptions. I started at 16, I'm pretty sure. Hold on.
No, you started at 14.
Because I did 24, you started at 14.
Okay.
Because we were 10 apart, exactly.
Okay.
That does ring a bell.
More for me, so, because I guess I took my screenshot at the beginning later than I thought because it was 16. So yeah, I started out with 14, and here is my final 38.
Whoa! What is this? What is this?
Holy smokes!
So check your account. She been spoofing or what?
Here's the thing you don't understand. I walk dogs. I walk dogs part-time, and most of the time I don't play the game while I'm walking the dogs.
Don't worry about Thursday. Don't worry about Thursday. I
was like, I made a bet, pups. We got to go. And all my dogs were like, we never go this way. And I'm like,
hopefully the Cursula Tinkaton core is good in Ultra League. That's all I'm saying.
How many did you do, Caleb?
35. But like my ending number's 35, which means that I only did 11. Like her ending number's already higher than my ending number, and she started 10. Freaking dude!
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, can we talk about this? I didn't get any Corsola, right? Oh, okay. To be fair, I did less than you, so maybe that's part of it. I think I only got 4 from the routes, from 11 routes.
What? The whole time?
Wait, the whole time?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you, man.
Yeah.
Here, hold on. Let me.
How long were your routes?
Well, I found a few like short ones, so that because I
did not take this challenge seriously enough.
Yeah,
lesson
you were
learned.
like,
Lesson learned.
For the record, I wasn't.
You better add the number to bets.
I did
to total.
I did 13 routes.
Ooh.
Okay.
I went from 4 to 17.
See, even you could have joined in on this bet, Tristan.
Yeah,
I thought, Kaz gonna do like 1 a day or something. Maybe 2 a day.
Is there a way for me to remove how many I hatched?
So do exclamation mark hatched.
Oh, okay.
And then exclamation mark like GBL. But the GBL ones you can tell the difference because they're not they don't have the glasses.
Yeah.
You can just put costume in the search string.
Oh, that too. That could work as well. Well, but no. But the costume one, the issue is she hatched costume ones too, right?
Yeah. So I just want to.
I'm saying both.
Yeah,
I get claim the pass. I didn't get the claim the pass.
I just want to remove the ones that
They were also in research, though. I don't know.
I didn't catch any from research because I don't really.
You're right. I think. Honestly, some of my 4 might have been from research. Even.
I caught 22. Just from routes.
22, and you did how many routes? 20. That's like almost about 1 a route. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's way better than my numbers.
Yeah,
I did. It definitely wasn't common though. Like I saw
way more lappers in Trubbish.
So many lappers.
Yeah.
So many lappers. Why were there so many lappers?
Yeah. I also got less than 1 per route, which felt uncool. Actually, it's worse because I think on day 1. Like on because I did the 7 days 1 route, so I did a total of 7 routes the whole event. And I think on the first route I got 3 Corsola, and then across the next 6 I got 2 Corsola. I think so.
Wow.
I caught 22 from routes and I hatched 8. So I got 30 with the sunglasses total.
Niantic.
Yeah.
I beg of you. Do another routes event. I need a redemption here. Now I know what I'm dealing with. I didn't realize.
You didn't reckon
making a bet with the damn Roadrunner here.
And the funny thing is, I played after we had made the bet because we recorded on Thursday. I was playing Wingspan with Jen the next night, and we were doing voice chat. And I was like, Jen, did you listen to the podcast? And she was like, she laughed and she was like, yeah. And I'm like, so I was foolish enough to make a bet with Caleb? She's like, yeah. What were you thinking? So even Jen was like, there's no way he's like not going to be motivated enough.
No, I'm. You gotta think about this realistically. When it comes to these kind of bets, I'm really not that motivated. Like the Stardust bets or like the PvE bets. It's just that in the past, when I went against Anacor, he was even less motivated than me. He was like, bro, I planned out to, do the Stardust, grinding on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then I didn't go out any of the days. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I won.
I'll tell you the other thing that really helped me out is after the first route that I did, I realized that you could do the same route back to back if it's not a loop. So I would literally just like walk in one direction,
the same thing.
and then like end it, and then just take that same route to drop the dog off back home.
Wait, did you level up because you did the 7 routes in a row? Or
I need to do a route tomorrow, and then I will level up.
Wow.
So yeah, I have continued my streak, so I just need to remember to do one tomorrow.
I'm not gonna level up because I did 4 days in a row and then I couldn't do it the first day.
Come on now. You even did more routes than me. You still couldn't do it every day. Anyway,
I did less and I got it.
But yeah, I got. I think it looks like I got 17 Corsolas, and I think I did 13 routes. I said,
dude, what is Corsola even ranked in Ultra League? This thing's got to be just straight garbage, right?
But also keep in mind you can't use any of your glasses ones.
Why not?
What do you mean?
Because they don't evolve.
They don't evolve. Matter. I have an okay one to use from before.
Yeah, we didn't say that it had to be.
No,
well, yeah, because it's not possible.
Yeah. We never that was never a stipulation.
I have an okay one for Ultra League already, so I haven't built it yet. Man, this thing is ranked 563. Bro, what?
Have fun tomorrow.
What does this beat?
Kaz is gonna be catching the VOD after this stream.
Here's a thought: what if I run Tinkaton, Corsola? I don't know what else.
Jellicent.
That's what I was thinking, but then a Jellicent lead just cooks me, no? Also, Virizion lead is kind of annoying too. What do I say swap here? The Corsola?
What moves does Corsola even
have? Just
same moves. Nightshade, Power Gem, Astonish.
Yeah, what?
Just win the lead. Same? Just win lead.
Exact moves. Huh?
Just win lead, win the game. Easy.
Yeah.
How bulky is it in Ultra League?
Not bulky
very,
at all.
Right?
No. It's got more attack than defensive stamina for context. Yeah. This is going to be a tough time. Well, I'm not hitting Legend anytime soon.
You're welcome.
I don't know what this thing beats is the issue. Like,
I mean, you can ask PV Poke. Key wins.
Caleb's gonna be making a guide for his patrons on Ultra League Corsola.
Definitely not, dude. You think I'm one of those clickbaiters? No, I'm never gonna mislead people. If a team is trash, I'll say it's trash. All right, we got some events. Gmax Raid Day. We get the return. It's a replay event again. So
more replay.
Go bigger. Saturday the 25th, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So this upcoming Saturday, Gigantamax Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, and Gengar. They all be shiny. Usual bonuses, stuff like that. Up to 3 special traits for the day, which is 1 more than our usual right now, I think. And then that's about it.
Remote raid limit going to 20. Yeah, and all the other regular or what is it? Particle bonuses or whatever.
Genuinely, I'm still waiting for what Gigantamax and Dynamax stuff does besides just another PvE element. Maybe it's just that.
Yeah.
It's just a closed loop.
Yeah. No, they have given us nothing to do with it so far other than just more and more Dynamax.
But the thing is, it's so annoying because I still can't dodge. Like, it's not like... I feel like it's not functioning properly, so I can't fully enjoy it. I can't dodge. Like, there's no skill to it, you know? It's just you just grind a lot and hope they don't have the right move to one-shot KO you, you know?
I don't know if I'm just a hater here, because when it first came out, I think dodging didn't work. But not that I've done one in like 2 weeks or anything, but I feel like dodging is fine. It's just like you have to do it at a different time than when you do it for like raids. It's like the timing of the
maybe it's just
different.
So Steve's saying Caleb has a skill issue here.
That might be what I'm saying.
It worked for me when it first came out, and it stopped working. But
I don't know. Maybe there's something in there. Who knows? But
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's mostly a closed loop. I know the big. Okay, go on.
You know how to dodge, right?
Sure.
Send me a screen recording. Do a Dynamax. Send me a screen recording. You can just do one. I don't care what it is, right? It could be a freaking Pidgey, right? Do a Dynamax or Gigantamax and dodge for me and send me the screen recording. I just want to see how you do it.
I can probably do that. Hang on. No, I forgot what I was going to say.
I'd be impressed if Steve does a Dynamax Pidgey.
Yeah.
Well, you've done more Dynamax and Gigantamax than I have, Steve.
I was just thinking the Dynamax Pidgey I don't believe is in the game.
Well,
whatever is around.
I know. I was gonna say
Saturday.
I know. The big thing that people's.
I can't do that.
I mean, you can go in and dodge and then not beat it, and then you'll get your particles back.
I guess.
But yeah, I don't know. The biggest thing people say is they like doing the Gmax for dust. They say like the dust gains are pretty good. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the rewards are good, but again, and I do think that maybe it was slightly more skill based, like when it was introduced, and there were limitations, especially on the Gigantamax stuff, because you could only have like 40 or something, and that was like not enough most of the time for a lot of people. So you had to be a little more strategic about it, who was getting in what group with who, and like who had what Pokemon within those groups. But like now that you can have up to 100 people, it's, especially for an event where a new one is released, I feel like it's not as.
There's also just been a lot of power creep within the like Dynamax, Gigantamax meta. So like, there's a better Pokemon, so it's easier to do stuff too. But yeah, that's that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. We talked about that event way longer than I thought.
Well, we have another event. It's Steeled Resolve, which I feel like is not the first time we had something like this before.
I think we might have it like every spring or something.
Yeah,
but I can't remember.
It's not a replay event.
No, it's not a replay event, but we have had like steel themed events before. I think there was the last one we had. Maybe they did that thing where you get, based on like your nice, great, or excellent throw, you would get like more XL candies, which was really nice.
Actually, the event in 2025 was called Steeled Resolve.
Okay, there we go. 1 year later. What do you,
man, they really are milking this memories.
We all covered another Steel Resolve a year ago. But yeah, anyway.
I did think it was familiar. So yeah, it is.
Tuesday, April 28th, 10 a.m. to May 4th, 8 p.m. And we get Pokemon debut, Earthworm.
I guess that's the only thing that doesn't make it a remix or whatever.
Earthworm, the Earthworm Pokemon. Oh,
say that 5 times fast.
You don't say. Makes this Pokemon Go debut. It could be shiny though, right on release, which is kind of nice, I guess. Meltan, you get it from sending a Pokemon, like whatever, like you get the mystery box, whatever, sending Pokemon to Pokemon Home, or if you have Let's Go Pichu, Let's Go Eevee, you can do that as well for the Switch games. If you get a mystery box there, you have a chance to encounter shiny Meltan if you're lucky. The time you have to wait before you can open a Meltan box will be reduced during this event. I don't even remember what it is anymore. I don't remember the last time I opened a Meltan box, but
Or is it 3 days?
No, it's like 2 or 3 days, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So now it's like maybe 1 day.
I think it's either like 3 days down to 1 day, or it's normally like 5 days down to 3 days or something. I don't really know.
Definitely it's not 5 days. Yeah, it's 3 days or less, I think, right now. So 1 day would make the most sense, right? Because there's only so many days in this event.
Yeah.
But
true.
Wild encounters. You have Magnemite, Aeron, Feral Seed, and if you're lucky, you might even get a Pawniard. Okay, well, fantastic. Nothing new. Earthworm are in 3-star raids. Where else are they?
That might be it,
bro.
Because it's not listed under the field research tasks either.
Yeah, maybe like a Go Pass.
Yeah, there is a Go Pass, so yeah, it's probably in the Go Pass.
What's is Earthworm worth anything?
I think it doesn't have the best moves predicted right now, but it's got pretty good like stats and typing, so it could be good.
It's
even Poke has to add Mud Slap,
Tentacruel,
Rock Tomb, Iron Head, Earthquake as well as something learns, but
kind of like a
redundant with Mud Slap. I feel like. Bulk wise, it's bulkier than
opinions coming in hot.
Yeah, it's bulkier than a Swampert. It's not as bulky as a Jellicent.
It's like I think it's like a Meganium.
Oh, it's like
Meganium.
It's like a superior.
Yeah, or superior.
It's like a superior. Sorry, technical difficulties.
We're so back.
We are so back, baby.
And we had Dynacats today too.
Yeah.
The whole experience.
True.
Yeah, and
those
also
are the whole experience. Yeah, we might not have Hurricane. We might not have Kaz's corner, but
put your guesses in the comments as to whose technical difficulties it was this time.
Yeah. It wasn't Mittens. We'll put it that way. Anyway,
true.
That's the Steeled Resolve event.
Or is it
too crazy? Dude, man, why is this thing so irrelevant for? Okay, let me see what it looks like in Ultra League, because this thing doesn't power up, right? Oh, okay. It can hit Ultra League at 8/15/15, but you'll need like full 296 XLs.
Oofda. I mean, I like how he looks.
I mean, the design.
Maybe the next time we do a routes bets, Kaz, loser has to run an Ultra League Orthworm. Honestly, that looks better than a Cursula.
Well, too bad for you.
Oh my gosh. It's got like over 1,000 more stat power than Cursula. What the heck am I about to run here? This seems like a Gengar in Ultra League. What?
So, I feel like it looks like in the main series schemes, it does learn Mud Shot. And I feel like if it had Mud Shot instead of Mud Slap, it could actually be pretty decent.
Yeah. I think that's it's a possibility, but it's so inaccessible right now outside of raids, right? So I'm okay if it's just not that relevant right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Were you gonna say something, Steve?
Nah. But the next event still has Steeled Resolve in the name, so.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, we got Steel Resolve Part 2 right here. So, this one is a little bit more exciting. It's Steel Resolved Takeover.
Taken over,
I should say. Thursday, April 30th to May 4th. So the last 4 days, or no, 6 days or so of the event. 5-6 days.
5 days.
5 days. I don't know if there's.
You got all the numbers.
Yeah, whatever.
Math is really hard.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 5.
All right. Anyway, longer than the last Takeover event. It's the Rocket event, as always. So Team Go Rocket appear more frequently and Pokestops and Balloons. You could TM all Frustration, which is pretty good. And then 1-star and 3-star Shadow Raids in an event will have a wider variance of attack, defense, and HP. So that's nice. And then for the first time in Pokemon Go, you can hatch Shiny Varoom from 12-kilometer eggs if you're lucky. You get Shadow Incarnate Form Landorus, which might not be good, but I don't know. I got cooked by a Shadow Thundurus and Electric Cup, so like twice. So you never know these days. Shadow Pokemon being added, so obviously the leaders will be different. We'll see what that is. I don't think any leaks that came out on that, right? Have there?
I haven't seen.
We never know. We never know until like the event starts.
Well, yeah, but you know how sometimes people. Anyway, Helioptile, Jupiter, Morlo, and Stuffle are all Shadow. I don't know if any of these look that good, to be honest. Maybe Shadow Araquanid. Maybe.
I
just hate the pacing of that thing, and
I mean, it's the only one that I think see with any sort of regularity compared to the others.
But usually your bulky guys, I don't know if it's really going to do much for you, and it's so slow. Like, surely getting taken down quicker is a bad thing. But I don't know.
Probably, but doing more bug bite damage
could
add up quickly.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Turns into a Golisopod with bug bite. But yeah. I mean,
Beware's in there. You never know when that guy's going to just pop up.
Dude, that thing's been out since the inception of play Pokemon. I remember because I played the community day in Frankfurt, Germany after EUIC 2022, and it's still not relevant. I think it was relevant in one or two Sylph metas, but
it's showing up on
and it does. Yeah, it's got maybe limited meta potential. It does have both Double Kick and Shadow Claw now as viable fast moves.
Yeah,
but it's still. I think it doesn't really have the best charge moves as part of the problem.
Right.
And then I think the Morlul, Shiinotic has seen some limited meta play as well, but most of these are maybe good in a specific limited meta, but no, you don't really know.
Oh yeah, but Heliolisk is banned from Electric Cup because it's got Mud Slap, right? So it's just too good.
And then it's just bad in everything else because it's gotten hit by nerfs to all its moves. It has Breaking Swipe that got nerfed.
Oh, yeah.
It has Mud Slap that got nerfed. It has Parabolic Charge that got nerfed. It's just gotten hit by all the collateral nerfs to everything else. So Helioptile used to be Spice at best in certain limited metas. And it wasn't even that good then, and now I think it's just straight up bad. So
yeah, I remember Drayflames ran it in one of our locals back in the day in 2023, and brother got cooked in the finals. I was that was back when I think people weren't taking locals as seriously, but in hindsight, there's no way someone run a Helioptile or a Heliolisk or whatever in a local anymore.
Hey man, you never know. Butters ran a Toxtricity at a regional, so
yeah, how did that go for him?
Locked badly.
He double shielded and then still gave up switch advantage to lock his Toxtricity into a Clodsire 2 games in a row.
That was so tragic.
It's bro. Anyway, okay, that's pretty much the main stuff. Yeah, there's super. Complete your Go Pass. You could earn the 1 Super Rocket Radar from the Go Pass. Interesting.
Wait, are there two? Wait.
Are there two Super Rocket Radars? Is what you're asking?
No, I was gonna say, are there two separate Go Passes, or is it the same Go Pass as?
No. Okay, actually, so there's a regular one and there's the deluxe, and deluxe gives you an extra Super Rocket Radar. This might be worth the Go Pass, actually.
No, I'm saying, is there a Go Pass for Steeled Resolve and a Go Pass for Steeled Resolve Taken Over, or one for both of them? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
No, it's just. Oh wait, there is one for Taken Over. Actually, it says Go Pass Steeled Resolve Taken Over.
Yeah.
So I guess there's two.
So I think that they are separate. Wait. It says. No, because when you go to the Steeled Resolve event, it already labels it as Go Past Steeled Resolve Taken Over.
Oh, okay. So then it's just one. Yeah, I'm only reading the Taken Over event. I didn't go back to the Steeled Resolve event.
Well, I went and clicked back on the other one just to check, but I think that they're only giving you one.
Okay, that would make more sense.
One regular, and of course the option to.
Is it worth the deluxe for the extra Super Rocket Radar?
I mean, when was the last time that we had a Rocket Boss that you really wanted extras of?
Shadow Giratina.
When was that? 2 years ago?
Worlds.
3.
Anaheim.
Oh, so it was just under a year ago. So I mean, I don't know.
I don't want to pay for it. I am paying for Pokemon out here when the IVs might just be
I don't know. I mean, it's something that certainly it's a case of whale's gonna whale, if you want to,
you can only whale once here.
If you really do want to hold on to that and hope for something in the future. But like, I don't know. I'm not, me, I don't even want shadows anyway. So.
Oh, true. For you, yeah, I guess.
There's only one of us with a whale in their picture, so.
That's true.
Yeah, Australia's number one Pokemon Go grinder.
That's right.
But I like
PvP.
I mean, I think it's like up to each person if it's worth it or not, but like it is such a limited resource, the Super Rocket radars. Like normally there's very few opportunities to get additional ones beyond like the one you get from each research.
Oh, this is spoken like a man that's going to get that deluxe pass for sure.
I'm just such a how many times you catch your Shadow Legendary and then it's like, oh, dude, it's like 10, 15, 10, 10, and it's just atrocious IVs. It goes to 14, 52.
But imagine if you had another one to try again.
But it could also just go to 14, 57.
Could be worse.
Yeah. You can't get the rank 1 shadow with that attitude, PP Steve. What's going on?
All right, I'll keep
I don't know if I'll do it or not, but we'll see. Okay.
PvPC says things can always get worse.
Worst day ever so far.
Okay, let's talk about GBL briefly. So there's obviously the all 3 open leagues, but there's an experimental cup now too, or experimental preview.
Mm-hmm.
It's
oh my gosh!
cup?
Wait, is this a new cup in GBL? Finally,
it is.
It's been so long.
Wait, you know what it actually is, though, right, Steve? Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I don't know what you might still be at rank for like 10 for all I know. But what do you actually at?
11.
Rank 17. Okay, all right. I needed this guy in on the routes bet. That's how I just stopped myself from losing.
I did like 4 routes, man.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. As long as I'm not last, I don't have to use Cursula. But man, you actually might be able to find some wins with Cursula actually at your rank. Now that I think about it.
True.
Anyway, so there is a preview cup, and did you guys try it? I played 1 battle with it.
I played 1 battle, and it was so horrendous that I was like, no,
really?
thank you.
Was it that bad? I thought it was okay. It was better than like the past iterations.
No, there were definitely like just skipped moves. Or like skipped fast attacks. Like there was a Morpeko that was able to throw an Aura Wheel at me after 3 Thunder Shocks, and I was like, that seems illegal.
You know, that makes sense because I played 1 battle. I played the Mass Asian, and great player by the way, but he was running Morpeko and Aegislash. His forms were changing, and I was just like, I don't know if I lost any fast attacks now that I think about it in hindsight, because this Morpeko was throwing energy pretty quickly, but maybe I just assumed I lost count or something.
Yeah, but it just seemed really jerky when I tried to play it, and it definitely felt like either I was losing out on fast attacks or like my opponent was gaining fast attacks. Like it just didn't work.
It sounded like you playing against Jesus G right there. But so it is out. So I think
I did like 3 sets on it. It wasn't bad. It was definitely like a bit clunky, and like some of the like camera pans and stuff, and like some of the like I don't know animations and pauses were like a little bit jarring. But I didn't. Maybe I just wasn't like paying super close attention, but it didn't like. Again, it was like clunky and stuff, but it didn't feel bad mechanically. Like that aspect seemed fine to me from what I noticed. And like the one thing that was nice is because it is like on the new mechanics, like I was able to do things like do like 2 mud shots and do an incinerate user and then like transfer the damage to something else. Or stuff like that because it is on the new system. So like that part was actually kind of enjoyable to be able to mess around with. But
I didn't really I only played 1, so I didn't even get to see all that. But so you played what 15 battles on it? Not bad.
Yeah, something around there.
I ended up just going back to the current system after all. It's weird because like there's certain parts of it that feels different, and I can't explain why.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
graphically speaking, like the charge buttons like lighting up look different too. But like
Yeah,
those little things, like I was like, because part of me is like, I don't know if anything's bugging out here, but it just feels different,
Yeah, again, I think some of that too is like I was saying, some of the like just like animations and camera pans and like some of it feels like clunky, and like sometimes like it's weird because I would like be like clicking on my charge move and it would like almost like pause for a second or something.
Yeah.
So like yeah, it just feels different. Um yeah, I don't know. It's definitely way better than like whatever we saw when it like got released to some people
Yeah.
in GBL previously. But it's still not like all the way there either.
Yeah.
I think clunky is probably the best word to describe it, because I mean, even disregarding the fact that like, you know, the one battle I played, having sort of misaligned attacks, um like you're saying, the animations are just like slower, and I get where it's coming from. I just think that like it's just feels really awkward right now because it's such an adjustment from where we've been.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll
We'll see
take
how it
some
goes
getting
though.
used to.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if they if changes roll out through this experimental cup like while it's available, or if this is just sort of like while all three leagues are available, they're using this as kind of their closed
Right.
bubble of
Yeah.
feedback, because I also saw Axon post, oh, if you experience issues, like, make sure you're recording, make sure to submit your battle log and then send me the footage, so we can get it to the proper channels. And I was like, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think I think I like this as a way to gather data. If for those that
Yeah.
want to try, they can, and for those that don't want to play it, they can choose not to, right?
Yeah. No, I
So
think this is great. I think this is absolutely like a great way to test this system
yeah,
with like, because I mean, I know that they had people that had limited access to this system to test it previously. Um, but ultimately, I think that more feedback is only a good thing. So having a broader array of people able to give that feedback, I think is probably in our best interest for the,
yeah,
Well,
for
I
people.
think not only that, but I think it opens the door to better testing,
Hmm.
because if you have someone in, I don't know, GBL pairing between like I don't know, if I paired with Steve, for example, right? That's going to be a better stress test of the system
Hmm.
because we're farther away, probably different servers or however that like technical stuff works.
Yeah.
So I think it can give like better testing and data in that regard. Um, so yeah, I think that's good.
I think it
But
also
yeah,
just saves heaps of online complaining about like, I can't believe I've been given this broken system, blah 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 blah
Yep.
blah blah. It's like, brother, you picked the you picked the game
Yep.
mode. It's on you.
yeah,
I just
Well,
played
and
one game
also,
then, and it did break a little, but
yeah,
that's
it
okay.
also tends to curb that feedback on the back end as well. Like if they were to release it and everybody was complaining that it was still broken, like hopefully this helps to put a balm on some of that by getting, more testing out of the way so that there are less obstacles whenever it really becomes real for everybody.
it's funny because there's a couple people I know that are like super casual when it comes to PvP. Like they'll do some GBL here and there, but they're like super casual, and they're like tagging me and they're like, "So what's different?" And I'm like, "Do a battle in each and like compare." And they're like, "I did. I can't tell the difference." And I'm like, "All right, well then don't worry about it. Like if you don't know the difference, like just don't worry about it. Live in peaceful ignorance here."
yeah,
Um and then one of them was like, "But I want to know." And I was just like, I just linked them the like blog post of like what they changed. I was like, well, this like outlines like some of the like mechanical changes they're doing like behind the scenes. Like it's hard for me to really articulate super well what's different, and I also just didn't necessarily have the time or energy to explain it very well at the point either. But yeah, I just found it amusing that they're like, I can't tell the difference. I mean, there were a few battles that I was doing on it where, again, I was, just sort of playing a bit passively, like maybe not paying 100% attention, but there were a couple battles where I, at least for a bit, sort of forgot I was on the new system. So like, but again, then there was other battles where it was just like super clunky and jarring. So it was a bit of a mixed bag for sure.
Yeah.
I look forward to it eventually being final because I do think that it is better in the long run. But
oh yeah, I mean the whole system does need an update. I don't think anybody questions that at all. But and I know that people were really starting to get really impatient when they made that announcement, and then like
fairly,
frankly, no one saw any change or whatever. So I think that it's only continuing to go upwards from here, even if the climb is not really very steep.
Yeah, and like what I was sort of saying, what I was saying to some people is like, I think like in theory, like all the changes like that when they made their initial post announcing this, right? I think pretty much all the changes are good ones, right? They're making things more mechanically consistent, and stuff like that. And I think in the long run, that's just gonna be an improvement for PvP and the mechanics of the game and the battle system and whatever. But like obviously in the short run, like it's very obviously still a work in progress, and we have some of that like clunkiness, and like there's just some things that need to be sort of smoothed out a little bit more, just made a little bit cleaner, and just just so that it feels and looks a little bit nicer to play. So I think, yeah, in the long run, I think once they get things a little more polished, I think it'll be a positive. But like right now, we're in sort of an in-between state where it's not as awful as it was when it got released to some people in GBL before, but it's still not a finished work. And I think the legacy system is generally more enjoyable, but there were some things that I did prefer about the new system. So it's not like, I think it's sort of pros and cons of each at the moment and how they're functioning.
Yeah. Okay, well, give it a try if you'd like. If not, hey, let other people be the guinea pigs, I guess, for this new PP update. But I think it's probably going to come at some point. So good that they're giving people a chance to kind of test it. I think it's good for like top players to test it, because some of them were like, hey, I want to practice before it comes out live, right? So that I can be ready for like tournaments. But speaking of tournaments, Championship Series, we have a few things to talk about. Let's talk about the Indian qualifiers / playoffs, because they had their qualifier, like their open qualifier, I guess, like a week ago, and then now they have the playoffs a week or 2 weeks ago. I forgot.
It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but yeah.
So MasterMihir does it again, back to back. India Regional Playoff champion, which is good for him. Obviously, a lot more spots this time. Was it 12?
16,
yeah. 16, so quite a bit. I'm very excited to see how many of these go. Nava Empire got third. Nava, please. I need to see what you got up your sleeve, man. I need to see it, because Anacor's been hyping this up for years.
His tweet didn't seem super encouraging.
Nava's?
Yeah.
What did he say?
A lot of the Indian tweets to me have read like happy I did well, but like it didn't give a vibe of going to Worlds, because obviously they don't have a travel award, and it's spending. Yeah. So that's kind of the vibe I
got. Anyway, okay, so I'll let you all cover this real quick. Ticketon was Ticketon available for this one? Because so many Ticketon.
Yeah, the Asian system is on a different.
Okay.
They have their own rule set, so like it was available immediately.
Okay, yeah, because
which is like similar to what we saw like at PJCS last year. We literally saw someone running Como with Flame Scales.
I don't remember.
Like
and that was like
weekend or something.
the community day was like on Saturday and PJCS was on Sunday, which was wild to me because I was like, locking this Pokemon in when you've had like less than a day to practice with it is wild, but whatever works.
As long as you have more practice than everyone else doesn't have practice, I guess.
True.
Yeah.
So we had, speaking of Tinkaton, that was on 50% of teams, it looks like.
When is it fully eligible for everyone? Is it like today or yesterday or something? Tuesday? Or
yesterday, I believe.
So it's eligible now, right?
This weekend it's good to go, I think.
So this weekend, Prague, obviously,
Okay.
Prague, I'll let you guys cover this real quick. I got to be right back, but take it away.
Yeah, so we had Tink at 50% usage, which was tied for top with Feraligatr, which makes a lot of sense because like Feraligatr was like already climbing up in usage like ever since Paula did well with it. But I think in a Tinkaton meta too, I think a lot of people are running it both as like a core partner for Tinkaton and also as like a Tinkaton answer. Since it just paces so well and like it does resist the Gigaton Hammer. Like obviously a resisted Gigaton Hammer still hits pretty dang hard, but so that's makes sense why
for shield the first one.
Exactly, you don't have to shield the first one.
And you outpace, like you're saying, so it's
pretty significantly,
It's really good. And I mean, if I look at the rest of the top meta picks, Feraligatr doesn't do badly into them. I mean, it doesn't love those volt switches from Fortress, but like can kind of sit there for a while and throw some hydro cannons to chip away too.
Right, and we don't know if some of these Fortresses or Bug Bite too. You have more play there.
It's true.
So that Fortress was our third highest usage with 46.9%. And then we had Corviknight next, then Galarian Corsola, which the Feraligatr is pretty good into as well. Licky, which is like a softer Feraligatr check. The Diggersby is favored into. Jellicent also kind of favored into. You're gonna struggle a bit with the Wigglytuff, but like similar to like the Wigglytuff, the Licky, the Fortress, like even though they beat you, it's like you can still output a good amount of damage just like spamming Hydro Cannons and like especially if you can get up energy or something. And then we had Altaria, Guzzlord, and Shadow Quagsire at only 18.8% usage. I'm kind of surprised it dropped off that much.
Well,
at least in this tournament.
There's a lot of other like anti-Tinkaton picks that are being used instead. Like there's quite a few even Stunfisks are running around. Diggersby sort of come in. There's a few Clodsires. Even Gorgeist sort of works as that anti-Tinkaton as well. I guess also anti.
I'd be curious to know, because Quag is still there at the bottom. I'd be curious to know if more of them were running Mud Bomb to try and like counter Tink better.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say though, Steve, Clodsire isn't really a Tinkaton answer anymore.
Good point. Yeah, that's very true.
I think Tinkaton actually wins maybe the 1s and the 2s or something. Like it's actually a pretty neutral matchup because Gigaton Hammer just hits so hard and like one Earthquake doesn't knock out and the poison stings are resisted. So it's not like it used to be.
You know what's crazy? Is that like, this is all the Tinkaton is officially eligible. Like Home Slice Henry did a video on MasterMihir's run, and I think at the title or maybe in the thumbnail it was of the vibe of like, this is the first tournament with the new meta because it's the Tinkaton.
Yeah.
There's no Tinkaton on the first team, on the second team, on the third team, on the fourth team. As much as Tinkaton is on 50% of the teams of people that entered the tournament, it ain't in the top 4. So
you're right. It did get 3 spots in the top 8, but none on the top 4.
Yeah.
But what's also crazy to me is that MasterMihir won with an Umbreon in a meta that had 50% Tinkaton. That's a little wild.
Yeah, that's true actually.
I didn't think about that until just now because like I knew he went with Umbreon. I was like, oh, that's like a cool, interesting pick. But I didn't process the fact that this was Umbreon in a 50% Tinkaton meta.
Yeah. Like it's obviously really like Umbreon is good. I mean, it won the South African tournament, and that's like one of the biggest tournaments there is.
Hey, I used it on my team.
Yeah. It's awesome. Umbreon is good Pokemon, but yeah, I guess Tinkaton isn't usually running like a fairy charge move, to be fair. Like
but Umbreon has all resisted moves.
Yeah, I guess that's true, but you can sort of survive long enough that you can dip out, I guess, and then just keep.
I mean, I think the bigger thing is it looks like MasterMihir had like 3 reliable Tink answers because he had Shadow Fortress, Shadow Quag, and Empoleon, and then like neutral with Galarian Corsola, and then like even Togekiss like is obviously not favored because Gigaton Hammer one-shots it, but like having played, because I used a little bit of Tinkaton like Fantasy Cup, that matchup can be pretty awkward for Tinkaton because the Togekiss outpaces you, and like if they're maybe up a little bit of energy or something or a shield advantage, like you have to get all the way to a Gigaton Hammer, and if they shield that, like that's so much energy down the drain. So like while Tinkaton wins, like it's not like Togekiss is without play there either. So I do think MasterMihir's team maybe was just a little hostile to Tinkaton, and also it's possible that maybe he just benched the Umbreon against Tinkaton teams because his other 5 are pretty strong picks as well. So I'd be curious about that.
I doubt he benched it. I haven't watched the video yet of his run, but he was saying somewhere that like the Umbreon Togekiss combo was like OP. I'm trying to find where he said it, but I can't find it. I don't know if it was in like our DM.
That's even funnier. Umbreon Togekiss combo and Tinkaton meta. And then the other thing is, I'm not sure. So he was running Shadow Fortress. I don't know what moveset he was running. Obviously, Shadow Fortress does tend to be on Bug Bite more often. But someone was telling me that like, at least with the Shadow Fortress, just the way that the damage calcs go, the Bug Bite is still doing 2 damage to Tinkaton. So it's not even really like it's double resisted. That matchup is like pretty close still. I think Tinkaton can flip that up like 1 Fairy Wind, but Fortress does win that like from an even situation, the Shadow with Bug Bite.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, I guess watch Henry's video if you want to see the run. It's I think the only sort of footage that is currently out there from the tournament.
True.
So
and yeah, it looks like our top 2 both ran Empoleon, Togekiss, and Shadow Fortress.
Yep. I mean, that's a pretty popular core, even coming out of other recent tournaments.
Yeah. And I guess we'll find out what happens this weekend in Prague. I mean, I saw an Atticans tweeted out, unfortunately, Giratina is unplayable in this Tinkaton for Alligator meta. Only a lunatic would bring it to Prague. So I guess we'll see it this weekend.
We have to wait and see who the lunatics are.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, if it's a Tinkaton meta, he's going to bring Talonflame. He always loves to pair Giratina with Talonflame.
He was going to bring that anyway.
He's going Giratina Talonflame. So check your PV Poke Sims if you're going to Prague.
Do we need to make more bets before Caleb comes back?
I think no bets required on that one, surely.
Surely not.
Right?
But it's interesting. I'll be interested to see how much Tink usage there is, because I wouldn't be surprised. We've seen this before with like the new toy syndrome. Like this happened when like Annihilate, both the original Annihilate release and Rage Fist Annihilate first came out, and it was like people initially built their teams like extra strong into it, and so it didn't really perform. And then over time, people got softer to it, and then it came into the meta more. So like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like it's possible Tinkaton usage is just high, but it's also possible that it's lower than we expect because people are expecting a lot of Tink answers. I mean, like we said, the top 2 were both running double steel plus a ground type, actually. So like, I could also see people building extra strong into Tink, and maybe the usage and or performance is lower to start. And then as Tink usage and performance is lower, people might start to build a little softer to it, and then it might have more of an impact a little bit later.
That's true.
Yeah.
I
mean, I've already
that's-
seen a bunch of people hyping it up just in GBL, so like I wouldn't be surprised if the Tink usage is similar in Prague to what we what we see on the like, graphic for this India qualifier.
Yeah. I mean that's certainly possible too.
I mean, I know Anakin's tweeted out a graph of how usage has changed in the Candle Cult tournaments. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
In the sort of lead up, you can sort of see like for Alligator usage sort of staying strong, Tinkaton usage sort of fluctuating a little bit, staying pretty strong, and then like Pokemon like Galarian Corsola are sort of like on the massive rise, and Talonflame actually had a resurgence. Like it started to go up, and then in the last like day, it crashed way down. I don't know what that was about, but yeah, there's some cool trends in there.
This is some spaghetti right here.
Yeah, I mean it's all over the place, but
it's the one thing. Obviously, like with India, we see high usage there, so that is more of an official data point. The one thing that's hard to know with practice tournaments, especially with something like Tinkaton, is how much of it is people are just wanting to try out the new thing to see if they actually want to use it or not.
For sure.
And it might be that it's high usage in practice, but some people don't like it, ended up dropping it. Like it's hard to say where it'll go from here. But it does seem like Tinkaton is already higher usage and having more of a meta impact than Caleb predicted anyways.
Okay, well, when are we ever listening to Caleb making a meta prediction? That doesn't always go so right, you know? So.
Listen, not unless he's got some sort of bet on the line.
Okay, I feel like the only bets that he's won when it comes to like meta prediction is when someone else is making a really bad meta prediction, a la Anacore.
Who can make the worst prediction is the bet that is being made.
Yeah,
I think I've just learned that Anacore's not good at making bets. That's what it comes down to.
Absolutely terrible.
And he just comes back for more every time. That's the most entertaining part.
Yeah, this time it'll be different. I'm gonna really lock in on this one.
Surely. Clown Anacore at his finest.
Okay.
All right. Anything?
I've got to run off. I'll leave this. I might be back. I don't know. We'll find out. But
you might be back. Running. Okay.
Wait.
What did you all just cover? Sorry, it took me a second.
Still talking about.
We covered about how your Tinkaton meta prediction was bad.
Hey, I mean, look. I'm not gonna use in LA, okay? All right? Put it this way.
Okay.
If I do well in LA, I feel like I can stand on my word, right?
Okay.
No, I don't know.
No, you're like, oh, it's not gonna be good.
I still don't think it's strong, but
again, it didn't come first, second, third, or fourth in India. So,
see what I mean?
With 50% usage,
high usage, low results. Maybe they should have listened to me. MasterMihir knew the way. He ran an Umbreon and won. In a Tinkaton meta, he ran an Umbra and a Tinkaton meta and won. He ran a Tokiss in a Tinkaton meta and won it.
6D chess.
Yeah. Was that Bug Bite or Volt Switch Fortress? Do we know?
We don't know.
I can probably check Henry's video. But,
Volt Switch probably makes more sense, but I'm not fully sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, okay.
Maybe we'll be back. Maybe back next week. We'll find out. But
are you leaving the call or are you just like
no? I'll leave it here.
Oh, okay, sounds good. All right, okay. Let's talk about Orlando because
we haven't done that before.
People love hearing about Orlando. I don't know what you mean.
True,
but people
especially when they release more information.
That's true.
Kind of.
So,
sort of.
For those that don't know, what happened. Give us a recap, Kaz, as an Orlando attendee.
I wasn't even there on day 2.
You were there. We did some trades.
So essentially what happened at the regional at the time, that was all we had to go on for a long time, was that we supposedly saw Firestar win after resetting the bracket. He won the next best of 5 to become the champion but then it was determined that some sort of behavior of his was unsportsmanlike, and so he was given a game loss, which then
wait, I heard he was DQ'd.
which then gave the win to Nighttime Clasher. Everyone was very confused. There were no official statements to go on for a long time. All we had was kind of like Firestar did release a statement about his experience onto Twitter. And we had a bunch of other people who were doing so much ugly speculation. And, you know, obviously the whole community sort of stood behind the fact that based on the gameplay that we saw, Firestar, by all rights, should have won. And no one out there really seemed to think that any of his behavior warranted such a penalty. But now we have an actual statement from Play Pokemon, the organizers of the event, about their their rulings and why they are currently going to stand by them.
Yeah, I'll just read. So there are obviously a ruling on TCG.
One thing I just want to say is Play Pokemon is not the organizer of the event itself.
Oh, they're the organizer of like they
run the championship series. Yeah, I'm just saying like each event has like an event organizer that runs the event.
Yeah. The semantics on that is important in some instances. Yeah, it's just gaming gen now, I believe, for
NA. Yeah.
For NA. Yeah.
But then there's different organizers. Like there's ESL in Australia. There's Karma Beam in Mexico.
Play Pokemon. The reason that they're in charge of this ruling is because they run the tournament.
It's their circuit.
Yeah. Their circuit itself. Not the event as in the location, the venue, that sort of thing.
The statement isn't even Play Pokemon. It's just from TPCI. It's just from...
Is it? I thought it was from Play Pokemon.
It's from Pokemon.com, and it's from an employee from TPCI, Ollywop, whatever. So, anyway, I'll just read this.
Into that.
Yeah, I'll just read the segment that is relevant for Pokemon Go because they talk about TCG stuff too. But so for the Pokemon Go Grand Finals, this is word for word. They said, we would like to share some information which may be known to the broader community.
May not be known.
Prior to the final game incident, during Game 1, the Bracket Reset series, a player was issued a warning for the action of hitting and shaking the table during gameplay, which this is obviously hinting at Firestar, not Nighttime Clasher. Actions such as these can have a negative impact on the experience of participants and disrupt the match in progress. Then, during Game 5, this same player, Firestar, same player's behavior continued to be disruptive, including shaking the table to a point that there was a disruption to the broadcast experience. These repeated infractions resulted in a penalty that was escalated to a game loss. And then they say, we will uphold decisions made by judges at this event. They're committed to bringing the best experience possible, blah, blah, all that stuff. And they say, in the moment of a win, emotions are high. We recognize that these emotions can lead to energetic reactions celebrating a win. We want to support this authentic, positive reaction, not discourage this excitement. So celebrations are not an issue, but actions that disrupt or can negatively impact competitive integrity can be. And then, yeah. Anyway, I'm sure people have thoughts.
I have so many thoughts.
Let's hear some of your thoughts, Cass.
I have rewatched, like, people have shared, obviously the whole video of the whole Day 2 tournament is available online, and people have shared direct clips of the specific instances that seem to be referenced by this article, which is 2 specific instances. One is in the first game of the bracket reset. So when Firestar had just won his 3rd game, and they were automatically going into the next set of 5. In the first game, there's a moment where he's very clearly frustrated with like the plays that are happening, and he just kind of does this on the table a little bit. And I've rewatched it several times. And obviously, this is something we all have a lot of experience with, I'm sure, playing GBL at home. And to me, like, a couple of things stand out. First of all, it's an experience we all share. Second of all, nothing in that moment seems to happen. There's no the camera isn't disrupted, the game itself is not disrupted. Nighttime Clasher himself, because you can see his face on the other side of the screen, totally unaffected, just playing, focusing on what he's doing in that moment. And the other moment they seem to reference comes at the end of the set, after Firestar wins his third match again, and throws down the headphones and sort of stands up and does his little fist pump, which again I've rewatched several times, and I see kind of the same thing. Like, the broadcast itself, like the game is not interrupted. Nighttime Clasher is totally unaffected. Firestar is obviously like very overwhelmed with emotion. It's his first win. Who wouldn't be? And up until that point, I'm sure he was also very nervous, because no matter how many times you're on stream, no matter how many top cuts you've been in, like, in that moment of realizing like that you've done it, that you've achieved a goal that you've had for a very long time, like, it can be overwhelming. And honestly, I thought he was, and when I watched it in the car, like when we were on our way back from Orlando, and when I've rewatched it in the time since then, honestly, he seems kind of more controlled than I think other people have been in the same situations. I don't think he did anything to me that seemed to be excessive. And once again, they try and base this decision around the broadcast experience, the other player that was affected. And I can't help but in all these rewatches, like, try and look at the environment, like try and look at Nighttime Clasher, and I just don't see what they're talking about. Like, honestly, I just don't see it. And again, this is just one statement that they've made after 2 weeks of allowing the community to stew in all of this uncertainty and frustration. And I still can't help but think there's a lot that we still don't know. Because when I watch those clips, I quite frankly, like, don't really see what they're talking about. One other thing I did want to mention is, in my rewatches, there is a moment after that first instance of him, like, sort of hitting the table. The game obviously progresses. There's no disruption to the game, no disruption to it, as far as I can see, to Nighttime Clasher's play or anything. There is a moment after that game when the stream, like, it slides away from the actual battle screen, and you see kind of the judges talking to the players. But obviously we don't know what's being said. There was no information given to the casters, as you know, because you were one of them.
That was me.
So it's just kind of like, you see them talking, and you have to assume that because there's no, like, rematch or replay or whatever going on the screen, that they're just sort of, I don't know, there's like a back and forth of some kind. Neither of them seems to be upset. Neither of them seems to be, like, argumentative, there's no, like, as far as I could see, there's no shots of, like, the judges' faces or anything either to kind of, like, indicate, where they might be coming from or how they might be feeling or whatever. And there's that brief moment of, like, discussion with everyone, and then it just goes back into the team selection screens, right? We get to see the close-ups of their team. We get to see the next game start seemingly effortlessly, So my opinion reading this is, as glad as I am that they have made a statement clarifying their position, I just still honestly can't see what they're talking about when I watch it. And so I can't help but think that it's still a very frustrating time for the community, because it's just, I don't think I have not seen anyone say that they can see where this decision is actually coming from. And the other thing that I do wonder is, like, okay, let's say that yes, obviously Firestar was warned, right? Was he specifically told that like the next time that you disturb the game that way, like this is the result? Like, was there like?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because he actually did have his own response to it. So he said, in quote to that thing, he said, "The incident you are now for the first time claiming was the basis of the decision did not affect the gameplay at all, yet decide the whole tournament. Section 2.1 requires a clear, in quotes, clear explanation of any infraction and its penalty." And he said, "And I was never given this as the basis at all." Yeah, there's a lot of confusing things with this, right? Not to say like anyone's lying or something like that, but
no,
Firestar seemed to be obviously like it's his word, right? So I don't know. I wasn't there for all of these conversations. Said that well, he was very definitive that it was like the tournament organizers that made this decision, right? But this article reads that it's actually from the judges, which I mean that would also make sense, right? Because like the judges rule on these things. I've never seen an organizer rule on stuff, right? And
it definitely makes sense.
Yeah,
it's still a little frustrating the way they kind of, I don't know. After witnessing some of the vitriol towards judges, which
it's
in
awful.
absolutely
It's awful. Yeah.
no way endorse
Yeah.
and think is absolutely terrible. Because why? Even if you disagree with it,
what does that
strongly,
do? Yeah.
What does that do?
Yeah.
Who does that help? Like,
no,
who
it doesn't
hurt
help
you?
Firestar.
Go touch grass. Like, talk to other humans.
Yeah.
Jeez. But like, it does seem kind of almost callous in a way for them to just like further toss their judges under the bus when nobody really knew that for sure. You know, people were just doing that of their own horrible volitions. And it just, the way that they so casually throw it out, like, we support judges' decisions and judges are it's like, oh my God, why would you do this? Like, why would you do this in this way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like, even with this like public statement, there's still so much like uncertainty and like lack of information about the situation, and like even like probably some level of misinformation spreading around, like, and like we're never gonna get all the details, right? Because like even this statement, while it does give some amount of clarity, is still vague in certain aspects as well. And it's like it's so hard to know the whole picture, because like part of it too that I think a lot of people aren't aware of is that like the judges are not allowed to like speak publicly about rulings, because there's been a lot of people too that have been like, I've been, unsure and frustrated why like none of the judges are talking out about it, and it's like because they're not allowed to, so you're not gonna see that side of things. And then like it's hard to know because like we haven't, so like we don't really have any info from the judges because they can't talk about it. Like this statement from TBCI is still fairly vague, even though it does shed a little bit more light. We haven't really heard anything from Nighttime Clasher. And like Firestar has made some statements, but like that's only one person's perspective, and like I think that like, and like, and obviously I feel for him, but I like his statements are also going to be a little bit biased in his perspective. Like, for example, like he hasn't mentioned at all the fact that he seemingly got a warning before. Like this hasn't come up in any of the statements that he made at any point in time, right? And again, I feel for the guy, but it is a somewhat biased perspective as well, right? That like he hasn't acknowledged the warning or whatever.
Well, it also, I mean, from his perspective, it's also might have seemed easier earlier to bypass that warning because you were never given the full context of it. Like he's saying most recently. Like if someone just says like, "Hey, you shook the table a little bit there, and we can't really have that on the broadcast, so don't what there's so much that is way more nuanced and arbitrary. So I feel like if he wasn't properly told, this is a warning, the next time it happens will have this result, it can be easy to bypass that information.
Right. We have no idea what was said to him, so it's really hard to know.
I do think you're right. Obviously, his perspective is only his perspective. But, I mean, if that's, one of the closest observations that we have to go on, and then the only other thing we have is this vague statement, it's still really hard to parse, where the truth actually is.
Yeah, because like you, I watched back those clips of the stream as well, and after that first game, you do see the judges talking to the players, so that's presumably when this warning happened, and you also do see Nighttime Clasher make a gesture, like a shaking gesture almost, probably saying that something about shaking. I don't really know. And then the game 5 part that they mentioned, this thing with the disruption to the broadcast experience is very odd thing to highlight to me, because if you watch it, it was only a couple seconds. It was what, maybe a second or something that Firestar's screen cut out, but also the battle was already over at that point. But it's also hard to know, because that's the thing they're highlighting, but they are saying the player's behavior continued to be disruptive, including that. So I don't know if there were other things too or not. It's it's so hard to know for sure without having all the details, which we're never gonna get.
Yeah.
But
and there's only so much we can see too on the stream. So even as much as we've been watching and rewatching, there's really only so much information we can even take away from that.
Right, we don't know what it was like up on the stage for what the judges experienced.
Yeah,
what
both you and I mentioned Nighttime Clasher's reaction, and him conversing back with the judges, but we have absolutely no idea what he said.
Yeah, we really can't tell. And then and the thing that Caleb read Firestar's response statement, and the thing that he pointed out is how whatever it was didn't, again, we don't know, but it didn't necessarily seem like it was so impactful, whatever happened during that game 5. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I just really absolutely don't see what disrupted the gameplay. If I just watch that whole stream on YouTube right now, the day 2 stream, to me it just looks like a player, one player winning, and none, I can see all the games perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I appreciate the attempt to clarify their position. I still don't really honestly see what they're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's a little unclear for sure, and it doesn't. I think a lot of people are frustrated because it still doesn't add up in their minds. But I think the one thing to note is that these people, Firestar wasn't being penalized for his celebration or the headphones, which is what everyone initially thought. So this definitely is still, I think a lot of people are confused and don't really make sense of this statement or whatever the ruling may have been. But the one thing to note, because I think everyone was, or most people were even more frustrated and confused of like, why are you penalizing someone for celebrating, and like the headphone thing like didn't seem like anything was there. So like at least we have clarification that that was not the case. But obviously it does introduce some additional questions and uncertainty.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I don't even really think it clarifies that point super well, because the overall, like, one of the overall reactions that I've seen rolling across the internet, across different social media platforms and whatever, is that basically be careful. Be careful when you're on stream. Like, don't overreact. Don't have actions outside of just tapping on your phone. If you win, that's great, but like, don't over acknowledge it. Like, I've seen a lot of people still sort of genuinely concerned that they're gonna do something and not realize it. And this isn't like, and I'm not talking about kind of the overreactions and like the memeing that people have done about it, right? I'm talking about people with like legitimate concerns of like, where is the line? Like, and how do I know until someone tells me? And then if they tell me, am I suddenly going to be issued a game loss anyway? Like, it's still, that's how confusing it still is to a lot of people.
Yeah, these are good points. Anyway, I will say I am glad that the Pokemon Company did like address it, right? Because there's just so many questions around the thing. So I think the transparency is important. Whether people like the response or not, which I think most people do not, is a different story.
Well, yeah, and I think the thing is like, I agree. I appreciate the transparency, but I think a lot of the frustration is people feel like the transparency still lacks some level of transparency.
I would say this is about 60% transparent.
Yeah,
we got right. Like, there's still like a gap, I think, that we're dealing with. So it's just like we were talking about with the preview, the experimental preview cup. It's like, this is definitely good. This is a step in the right direction, but like, there are still more steps.
Something I would probably have liked to see from this is, like, regardless if they uphold the decision or not, and maybe this isn't the works, I don't know, right? And again, this is my personal preference, doesn't mean that it's like necessarily right or not. It'd be nice if they said like, hey, but after evaluating this situation for the past 2 weeks, we would like to do some clarification on rules for the future, right? Let's say like, oh, we're gonna uphold the decision with judges, okay, but in the future we're gonna say like, hey, we're gonna be more clear on the warnings, more clear on the behavior at the desk, right? Or not at the desk, on stage, right? Like how much shaking's allowed, all this stuff, right? Because I don't think anyone before a few weeks ago would have been like, oh, you could lose a game in the grand finals because you were too excited in your chair or shaking too much or disrupting the table, right? Obviously, like if you're flipping the table and stuff, like, of course, I usually expect something to happen, right? But I don't know. Obviously, Fireside was in all likelihood not intentionally trying to be disruptive, even if he was, right? But also, I think it would be nice if they were just like, hey, we're going to reassess our rules and update it or be more clear in the future or something like that, right? Because it feels like it was just like, yeah, we're going to uphold it. He lost the game for this reason, this, that, whatever. But like, there are examples of past experiences where this has happened in grand finals, not grand finals, etc., right? And you can make the same argument that it was also disruptive for gameplay, right? Or it's very similar to Firestars, right? So I think it's like, it's fine if this is like the precedent and ruling that they decide on, but I think and again, maybe they are working on it, right? But I think it'd be nice if they say like, hey, like in the future we're gonna do this to avoid this from happening, right? Because like, I don't think like just knowing that this happened for Firestar is like, yeah, that's like in a warning in itself, but like some other future celebration could happen, right? Like, it's not like you can control people's emotions when they win, right? Especially first time grand finals, etc., or whatever it is, right? And I don't think that the Pokemon Company, the judges, or anyone want to ever go through this experience again, where they give a game loss on a game 5 or whatever, change the outcome of a tournament because of this, right? So I think taking measures to prevent this from happening in the future would be, like, in my mind, the best step forward, regardless of what ruling they end up deciding on, and for unfortunately for Firestar's sake, they ruled against him on this one.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that, because I mean, people are people, and sometimes the calls that people make are going to be a little arbitrary, but I agree with you that I think that given the scope of this situation and how it's played out, a little more clarification like in their actual rules would be another sort of bare minimum sort of action, like the next step that I mentioned, Yeah. And I think that putting something like that in this statement probably would have eased some people's anxieties about like the future of competition. And right now, like this whole thing happening exactly when it is, I can't help but wonder, like, what are we gonna see at Prague?
Dude, I don't know.
You know what we're gonna see at Prague? Nighttime Clash or casting.
He is casting.
That's also super awkward. I'll be real. I'll be very real. That's just sort of really, really awkward. And I know that casters are chosen like way in advance, and like the timing is in no way actually deliberate at all.
Yeah, it's just like, unfortunate.
It's just very unfortunate and super awkward. It's not his fault. It's not his fault, and it's no one's fault, right? Because again, I know these things are decided. Like,
you can't say it actually is his fault, because if he just wins that game 5, none of this would even have happened.
That's true. That's true. You just should have played better. Easy.
Or if he just 3-0s the first grand finals.
Yeah, you had so many options. Easy.
Yeah. Or maybe if he just top lefts, it's right away.
That actually is now illegal, Caleb.
Yeah, well, then he would get the game loss for that one. And Firestar for sure is the undisputed champion. But
yeah, but I mean, that was I didn't mean that like talking about him casting, but I mean that is also like gonna be really, really weird. But like even from a player standpoint, because obviously like EU is I mean all the regions have their differences, but I do think that like NA and EU are by far the most streamed, and the sort of get the most attention. Like, so I can't help but wonder what kind of reaction we're going to see from players at this event.
Yeah, just be if you are going to be a player at Prague or a future event, like just be sensible, right? Like, yes, you can make a scene, you could like do something, but like it's not going to reverse the decision for Firestar, right? If you're frustrated with whatever, like
just ask yourself. Just ask yourself, like, who you're helping.
Yeah, because you probably won't help yourself if it isn't how you're acting. And if you don't help Firestar, I mean, again, I guess like you could like, it's I don't know. Anyway, just think about what you do, right? So like you don't want to put your own like tournament life on the line. I don't
want people to be discouraged from like participating in these things that have been sort of growing our community. But I can't help but wonder if we're going to see maybe less participation or, I don't know, anything of note.
I think there's ways, like, if you, maybe disagree with the ruling or you want to support Firestar, like, I think there's ways that you can do that without risking yourself or being problematic, right? Like, something simple like wearing, I don't know, a Jirachi shirt or a Jirachi pin is like a subtle little nod to show your support without like being problematic, right? Like just be mindful and considerate of how you're conducting yourself and how you're interacting with others. Which like also sort of leads me into another aspect of this whole situation. I don't know if you guys have heard about this like Professor Rex stuff that's been going on.
I've seen it.
But yeah, so this guy he's trying like so he got banned from the Professor server and he's like trying to like say that they're like trying to silence him. But the thing is that first of all, like professors again are not allowed to talk about rulings, which that's like a pretty core tenet. And like he broke that rule, and then he also was like doxing people and like sharing screenshots from like a private server, like breaking a lot of rules and like just doing uncool stuff, which is like not cool at all. And also the other aspect, which like I didn't really realize at first, is that like the professor server is like a unofficial, like it's not a TPCI run server. It's like it's an unofficial server.
But they're allowed to have it, right? Or no?
They're allowed to have it. I'm just saying like TPCI does not run the server.
Right.
Like the server is run.
I guess what I'm saying is like is it is allowed, because I can see how TPCI would be like, hey, we don't want you talking about all this stuff like in a server anyway, because that's sensitive information that could be leaked, right? Which is
again,
what happens,
TPCI doesn't run the server. The server has like an admin and mod team that is professors.
No. I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is, I guess TPCI doesn't care, but I could see a world where they would care that there's a type of server existing, because it could lead to potential leaks of sensitive information, right? If professors are in there talking about it. But I guess that's not the case, because I assume it's still around. I don't know. But
anyway, yeah, no, the server's around. My point is just that like if he was banned by the server, that means he was banned by like the admin or mod team, which is other professors, not he wasn't banned by TPCI, which is how I think he's trying to frame it.
Oh, so he wasn't banned by TPCI at all? He's still a professor? Like he can still just go to like judge an event in like LA or whatever?
I mean, I don't know. He has, again, I haven't followed that closely. Yeah. But all I saw is that he posted that he was banned from the professor server. And my point is just there's a lot of misinformation.
I see.
I've seen a lot of people like, sharing his post or like retweeting it or whatever and being like, oh, like TPCI is like trying to like silence people on the situation, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's not the case. Like TPCI doesn't even run this server. And again, the reason he was banned, in my understanding, is because he broke rules of the server and rules of being a professor.
Sure, yeah. I mean, there's a chance he also doesn't know that TPCI doesn't run the server. I don't know, but okay, good to know. I did read some of his posts too. It's mostly just him disagreeing with the decision, right? Which,
yeah,
I mean, he's free to do, but as a professor, I think that's explicitly listed out that you cannot be doing such things, which I think makes sense. Because
I think it does.
You kind of have to be on a united front with your colleagues, right? And kind of how that goes. But I know he was on a he was on a what do you call it, on Hungrybox's stream, and I was curious what he was saying, so I went to go watch it, but the stream is now like archived or deleted, the VOD, so maybe release some extra sensitive information, that one too. I don't know, but maybe for the best that's not there anymore. So I don't know what he said, but I listened to like the first few minutes of the VOD, and then I like went to sleep, and I woke up this morning, it was gone. So yeah,
I was working when it happened, so I missed the whole stream.
Yeah. But
I was thinking of trying to watch. I was thinking of trying to watch the VOD today or something, but I guess it's gone.
Yeah,
I was just curious what was said.
Well, I'm about to eat breakfast soon now. I had a whole couple hour plus stored. Anyway, that's a situation on that. Whether people like it or not, it's a different story. But at least we have a conclusion to the Orlando saga, and
I doubt this is the actual conclusion.
Official conclusion, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure people will probably be talking about this for still a while, because you can see on all the social media posts, and I guess it's engagement. it's to say the least. It's engagement. Whether it's good engagement is a different story, but it is engagement. You have to go soon, Kaz?
I do.
Okay,
yes.
No problem. We'll end it here, and then we'll talk about the tea topic.
And then there were two.
Yeah, for real. That's why I was shocked that you were the lowest attending podcaster during that one survey. But anyway, okay, so we have some tea topics to cover.
We covered Orlando, but that wasn't our tea topic.
No, it was not. It was not. Okay, so there's other stuff going on with the championship series. What is this Korea qualifier stuff? Because I think you know more about it than me.
I don't know a ton, just bits and pieces. But so apparently, let me just pull up the post. So Charming Chinda, competed in the qualifier, and he said that he lost his final round. And then he said after the match, he found out that the opponent may have
participated using an
alt account. He raised the issue with the organizers, and the opponent was disqualified, which allowed him to advance to the playoffs. Now, so that was sort of his account. What I've heard from other people is that it sounds like his opponent just has an alt account, which, like, obviously
is the one that he played against him with.
That's what I heard. Yeah. So it's.
But like, then why would he get banned for it? Or like, why would he get the game loss for it? I should say.
Because so again, I don't know. Like, this is all, a bit of he said, she said, right? Like, I'm like hearing all of this like second or third hand through the grapevine, but like, sort of what I've heard is like, because some people felt like Charming Chinda was kind of like fishing for a win, because I've lost track of the post now, but I saw a post that someone was saying that, like, at first he like tried accusing his opponent of like spoofing or something, and when that didn't like stick, then he went for the alt account route or something. Again, I don't know the validity of this, but it sounds like some of the Korean players feel like he was sort of just like fishing for a win so he could like advance to the next phase, like after he lost to this person. And like, what I've heard is that allegedly the opponent just like had an alt account, but like, because that's technically against TOS, he like brought that up to the organizer as like a means to get this person punished. And like, a lot of people are feeling a lot of like double standards and stuff, because like apparently it was maybe known that some of the other players in the tournament also like just have second accounts, not that they were competing on them, just that they have it, and like no one seemed to bat an eye with that. But then this one particular case where it's like basically the win on deciding who makes it to the next stage was brought up. So again, there's a lot of he said, she said, like a little bit of uncertainty and like stuff coming through the grapevine. So we don't necessarily have all the details, but yeah, this is sort of the current drama going on in the Korea scene. And like, again, like the actual information here is going to matter a lot, because like, if someone was like competing, like, the thing I don't understand is like if someone was competing on two accounts in the same tournament, like, absolutely disqualify them. That's obviously cheating. But like, I don't know why someone would compete on their alt account instead of their main account. Like, that wouldn't make sense. And again, like, obviously having multiple accounts is against terms of service, but like, it's not something that really gets widely enforced.
How do you even prove that too?
True. Like, yeah, I don't really know. Like,
I don't. So there's a few things confusing about this, right? We clearly don't have all the information, so take our analysis with a grain of salt. But it doesn't really make sense for someone to compete with an alt account when they have a main account, right? Like, why would you use the alt account? Like, they're not playing two accounts at once, I assume, right? I mean, it is remote online tournaments, but like, even that's hard to freaking pull off. For like, how are you tapping two phones at once? Like, the round starts for everyone at the same time. It's Swiss rounds, right?
But also, these, I think if someone was competing on two accounts at the same time, like, we would have heard that detail, and like, this would have been a bigger thing. But people seem mixed, and a lot of people seem to be sort of against Charming Chinda in this situation, because again, a lot of people feel like they were just fishing for a win after they lost. So yeah, I don't know.
this kind of stuff is always weird to me, right? I mean, it's like there's like spoken rules and like unspoken rules, I feel like, right? So the spoken rule or like the actual rule is obviously from Niantic standpoint, you don't spoof, you don't multi-account, blah, 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 right? Those are like two like very bannable offenses, right? I don't know how many people get banned for multi-accounting because it's a little bit hard to track down, but it's heavily frowned upon, right? I would say that's probably like number 2 on in my mind based on like what I've seen over the years of like what's worst things you can do, right? Number 1 being spoofing.
I don't even know if I agree with that. I mean, we've all seen the pictures of the guy with like the 20 phones. You know?
Well, yeah, but how do they track down all this stuff? I don't know. Again, like it's very against, at least from what I know. It's like Niantic's very against it, right? Whether people do it or not is a whole different, issue.
Yeah.
But I feel like the unspoken rule when it comes to the players and battling community is that spoofing is by far way worse than multi-accounting. In fact, I don't know a lot of PvPers that care about multi-accounters, right? I am way too lazy to even have multiple accounts, but I know a lot of people that do, right? That are top players, and our circuit would be like maybe half the size, maybe less than that, if everyone with the secondary account was banned from competing, right? It is technically against their terms of service, and I think it's interesting. It's an interesting conversation because I get what you're saying, right? Like, oh, well, he might be just fishing away for get to his opponent DQ'd, right? Like, oh, he's a spoofer. Well, he's not a spoofer. Well, he has an all account. Well, okay, well, that's against services. We ban him for it, right? Let's assuming that's the case, whatever, right? Because I think people make the argument that spoofers have a significant advantage because they get like any Pokemon IV spread they want or whatever, catch Pokemon, stuff like that. They don't have to leave the house. They can get their roster as well as you can. But it technically doesn't really help your PvP skills, right? You might have optimal IVs for whatever, but if you have rank 1s, you lose charge attack priority. Like, it's not like it's like all given, like all take and no give or something like that, right? All pros and no cons. And at the end of the day, even the heaviest spoofers in the world could suck at PvP, right? But I think you could make this a very similar argument for having all accounts, because you can like, hatch, like, let's say before Galarian Corsa or Tinkaton were available in the wild, like you could hatch a bunch on your alt account and trade it to yourself, right, for higher chances of a PvP spread. Yeah, it's not as easy as spoofing, but you can't say there aren't any potential PvP advantages if you want to go that route, right? You absolutely could, right? Whether they do is I don't know. It depends on if they do that or not, right? It's like spoofers, right? Maybe they spoof just a shiny check, but they're not actually using PvP, right? You can always make that argument too, which unlikely they're only doing that at that point, right? So again, I'm not saying like they're the same by any means, but I do think that there are unspoken rules that still give people potentially competitive advantages outside of spoofing. And I'm not like really, we don't even know all the story or information on this one, so it is what it is. And it would never be like, if I'm facing someone at a tournament, even if I knew they had a secondary account, I'm not going to go to the judges and be like, yo, you should give this guy a game loss for a secondary account, even if I could prove it, right? I'm just like, I'm here just to battle, right? If you beat me, like, you can have 10 like all accounts, like I probably like in 99% of the time, I'm probably still losing to you, not because you had 10
well, and
accounts,
that's the
right?
thing too, like,
same thing with spoofing, right? Even if you spoof, like, I was like, I'm probably losing to you because even if you didn't spoof,
well, and that's
right?
the thing that I think some of the Korean players were saying is like, they were sort of being like, well, it's known that some of the other Korean players that competed in this tournament also have like second or alt accounts, and you didn't raise that up as an issue.
It was only on his final
opponent that basically getting that result flipped got him to the next stage. And it's like, why didn't you have an issue with the other, who knows, 3, 5, 10, 20, however many people in the qualifier that also have multiple accounts? Like, you didn't say anything about that and turned a blind eye. Like, I think that's sort of where the crux of the situation and people's frustration with it stands.
So I asked you this, your personal opinion. let's say if everything Charming Chin is saying is true, right? Let's say the guy did have an alt account. Maybe he wasn't competing on it, but he had an alt account, and Charming Chin was able to prove it. What are you? Do you ban the player? Like if it's your choice, right? I'm assuming you're not a judge, but like your personal take. What would you do, or what would you advocate for?
I mean, well, for starters, it's hard to know because I have no idea what rule set they're using over there.
Sorry about that. My power went out. This podcast is going to be a pain to edit. Okay, I don't know how much it cut off, but I guess what I was asking Tristan is if it was up to him and he was a judge, how would he rule on it, right? Knowing that the guy could prove that there's all accounts.
Yeah, my point is what I was saying is like I think it's a very slippery slope to like start becoming the terms of service police and being like, oh well this person had multiple accounts and this person has a phone rocker, or this person shared their account login to do trades, or this person gave their phone to a friend to go do a raid for them or whatever. Like those are all against the terms of service for sure, but like you just have to be mindful because you risk going like full witch hunt mode of like everyone just like trying to dig up on dirt on other people. And like at the end of the day, I also feel like at least to an extent, like it's Niantic's job to enforce the terms of service. And like a lot of these things, like while they're against the terms of service, like doesn't seem like Niantic is really actioning on them.
Okay, I'll give you a follow-up question. So let's say he doesn't have an alt account, but you could prove that the opponent spoofed on the account he's competing with. Then as a judge, what do you do?
I mean,
are you thinking on it? There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just curious, right? For your take on it, right? What would you do?
Yeah, I mean, I think it potentially like depends on the context, like, cause like maybe the right recourse is to report it to Niantic and let them handle it.
But you wouldn't DQ them from the tournament.
Well, I don't know. Like, did they spoof for a competitive advantage, or did they spoof or did they spoof 5 years ago, and you have proof of that?
Well, you have proof that they spoofed recently, just like how recently someone had an alt account they accessed.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends. Like, that's hard to say for sure.
Okay, I'll put it this way. How about this?
Right? What do you think?
Well, well, I mean, I'm asking the questions here. Okay.
Okay. Right, no, I'm asking the question.
So, before I answer, right? Let me stipulate a little bit more. Right? They spoofed for active Pokemon on their roster of 6.
I mean, then you probably would need to consider penalizing them.
So what if instead of spoofing they had an alt account, but you could check their Pokemon, you see that at least one of their Pokemon they're using competitively was traded from their alt accounts? Does that change your philosophy on the alt accounts ruling?
Maybe.
But you would penalize for sure if they spoof for it. But maybe if they traded themselves for the Pokemon on the roster.
I don't know. Maybe I haven't. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I think these are like, so obviously, like, I don't encourage spoofing or multi-accounting or whatever, etc. Right? But like, I definitely heard stories of players, even top players, have done this, that, and all the above. But and yeah, I mean, there could be competitive advantages. I think the other tricky part is, okay, what if they don't have it on their roster 6, but maybe they will have it in a future one, right? Like, do you check every time to see if one of the 6 Pokemon is spoofed or traded from an alt account, or do you just go for a blanket? Like, if you have a if you spoof or you have an alt account, you just get, and we find out, you just penalized for it, right off the bat. It's a slippery slope. I will say that, right? And again, like this is where like this is why I say the spoken and unspoken rules are an interesting topic, because I don't think there is a very straightforward answer. Obviously, if you want to go really by the book, anyone that spoofs, anyone that has an alt account should have some type of penalty or like be like disqualified from a tournament, whatever. But there's a lot of people that are going to catch the the ban hammer or the penalizing hammer in that respect, right? And I think these written and unwritten rules are like, if you think about it from a competitive integrity standpoint, it's a lot of gray. It's not that black and white. Like, these spoken rules are rules laid out by Niantic, right? And maybe the Pokemon company. Like, if Niantic, I don't think they will, but let's say one day they're like, we don't care if you have multi-accounts. You have all the accounts you want. Then all of a sudden, this whole discourse changes, right? I don't think they'll ever say that for spoofing, but if they ever say that for spoofing too, we'll add spoofing as a feature if you have the deluxe pass this month, right? Like, then all of a sudden, like, it changes the whole dynamic of the situation, right?
Yeah, and I think my part of it too is like, it's challenging because some of these things, like, while they're against the terms of service, like, Niantic seemingly isn't really enforcing them. Yeah. Because you'll see people with what is it, like, thousands or millions of kilometers walked that are clearly defitting and like haven't been penalized. So it's like, it's also challenging because it's like, I feel like a lot of it is on Niantic to enforce their terms of service, and it's like, if something is against the terms of service but not being enforced by Niantic, it's like a weird area of like, you're not supposed to be doing it for sure, but it also, like, people are still doing it because there's not really a real repercussion, and it's like, how, like, is it fair to like start like retroactively penalizing? Like, I don't know, it's kind of complicated.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? So regardless of like, if let's say you think spoofing is a competitive advantage, having all accounts to trade yourself is a competitive advantage, dude, phone rocking and hatching a million eggs, or defitting and hatching a million eggs is definitely an advantage. What do you mean? Getting the XLs for Galarian Corsola, getting more Tinkaton to reroll before Tinkaton Community Day, right? I mean, and let's talk about all the people that like buy Pokemon for like from like eBay and stuff, right? They're not spoofing, but they're paying a spoofer to come to them to trade, right? It's essentially how I understand those things work. And it's just, this is why I think this is an interesting conversation, and I don't think there's actually like a dead set right or wrong answer on it, because again, I'm not like a fan of spoofers or anything either, right? By any means. But it is, I think there's a lot of people in the community that see certain things, certain like unkosher ways of playing more acceptable than others. But they're just kind of like unspoken rules or community drawn like morality lines that don't really actually make too much sense, Like, you could arguably have a greater competitive advantage buying like 100 Tinkaton trades from someone on eBay than someone being a spoofer, right? If Tinkaton is relevant in the meta, like, you can't spoof for a better Tinkaton, right? But if you buy 100 Tinkaton from a spoofer, you could definitely upgrade your Tinkaton IVs, right? And get a pretty good one, right? Obviously, this is all before Community Day happened, but so you could even make the argument that you have a greater competitive advantage there. And, some people that are against spoofing might be against the eBay buying stuff too, right? Like, maybe that's fine. Some people are consistent on that. I think it's just, I think this brings a good question of like, why people get sanctioned for what, and what makes sense for sanctioning to happen. And like, it's just, how do you draw the line in the sand? Because I think everyone draws the line a little bit differently, right? I think collectively there's more people that draw the line in the sand right at the spoofing line, But there's a lot of arguments to move that line further down the road and include stuff like multi-account, eBaying, phone rocking, defitting, using scanners, knowing a friend who uses a scanner that you're just in the car with while they drive you around catching stuff. Like what? Like that's like there's so many things, right? And like it's never ending in a way. And like even if you try to play by the rules, you might also be caught in it, right?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
say,
honestly, scanners
my
is
buddy might
another
just said there's
good
a
point.
hundo over there. Let's go.
Right,
I'm like,
right.
all right, sure. It's just like, did he find himself or did he get a scanner or what? Like, how do you know, right?
Right. Yeah, and scanners are honestly a good point too, because those are against terms of service, and like obviously a lot of people still use them, and
yeah, is it against the terms of service to run the scanners? 100%, right? Is it against the terms of service to be a member, right, of the scanners? Maybe, probably, I don't know. Is it against terms of service to know a friend that might have mentioned that there's something that they pay the service for a scanner? See, it gets weird, right? It gets really weird if you like stretch it, and like at a certain point, like 50% of the user base might just get banned off the bat, right? If it's like that, so.
Yeah, well, and I think part of the challenging part too is like you said, like where do you draw the line in the sand? And it's like, I feel like you have to consider both the competitive advantage and like also how like easy or hard it is to like prove something too, right?
Yeah.
Like, right, because that's the hard thing is like with multi-accounting, like how can you tell if it's someone's alt account or is it their mom's account? I don't know, right? Like,
I don't know. Anyway, I what I would say is I don't know. I mean, I don't envy the judge's job in many respects. Not only just this, but all the stuff we talked about earlier today too. But I think what I will say is, so I don't know if I can answer my own question even that I posed to Tristan, but I will say is if I'm a competitor and I lose to someone that I know is a spoofer or multi-counts or whatever, or bought a bunch of stuff from eBay, like I'm not going to be a person to like raise that to the judge and be like, hey, I know I lost, but they have some sketch stuff on their account, right? Assuming like everything used is eligible, right? Like if they're using a Tinkaton like last week at a tournament when it's not eligible, I mean, they probably wouldn't even be able to register the moveset, but then I'd probably be like, hey, you can't use Gigaton Hammer in this one, right? That's just like not allowed, right? But I think as long as they're like falling within the general parameters of the rules, like if I lose, like majority of times, the vast majority of times, it's not probably because they spoof for a Pokemon or whatever, Yeah. So that's kind of
I mean, I agree with that. Like, I don't love the sentiment of like, oh, I lost, so now I'm going to report them for cheating. Like, I think that,
and we don't know exactly all the details of that one, so that's just
right. But I'm going more based on your hypothetical here.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, let's say that someone in the tournament, is a heavy spoofer or whatever. I don't love. I still don't like the sentiment of like, oh, I'm not going to report them, but now that I lost, like, right? I think that if you have an issue with the cheating, then you should be trying to report that up front if you have evidence of it, not waiting till after you lost and then trying to use it as like a get out of jail free card almost.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's sort of where I have the issue with it. Like, because again, like if you have evidence of someone cheating and you have an issue with it, then like raise that up, but do that like, I don't know, maybe before the tournament, not after you lost to someone.
Yeah. Anyway, the only other thing, so that was the stuff on the Korean qualifiers. A little tea on that. Other tea is the freaking Silicobra, man. Did you catch any?
No,
dude. This was such a Niantic. Come on now, right? Look, I'm not one to shy away from giving Niantic praise when they do things right, but this one was kind of a miss. Like, okay, so you had the debut of Silicobra. I don't think it could have been shiny though, right?
No.
But they said they tweeted this out on the 17th, so 5 days ago. Trainers, we've adjusted Silicobra encounters to align more closely with its natural habitat. You can now find Silicobra slightly more frequently in desert-like areas. Okay, well, what if you don't live in a freaking desert? Like, what? Who's gonna travel?
That's the thing. Well, people were pointing out, they're like, it's basically like you're making a new regional essentially.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the map of like where the desert areas are, like it's very limited.
Yeah.
And a lot of the places where these desert areas are not places where a lot of Pokemon Go players live. Like I saw like one of the biggest areas that was on the map of desert areas is Australia. But talking to Steve, the majority of the desert areas in Australia are the uninhabited parts.
Yeah, that's why Australia is so big, because you can't live in the middle area, so they have to fly across the entire country just to get
exactly. So it's like that was the biggest concentration of desert areas, and it's still where like
North
most
Africa
people
too.
right, North Africa, and then you have like very like far north parts of Canada where barely anyone lives.
Another part is a big chunk of China, and you can't even play no Pokemon Go in China. I know, like. That's a huge part of China just on the map. I didn't realize there's that many deserts in China, actually, now that I think about it. But
so it's just it's just crazy to me because like you're basically making a regional. And not only are you making a regional, but it's mostly in areas that like not many people are really going to. So like it just seems not enjoyable. Like I get that they're trying to like tie it to the real world and like go out and explore in the real world and biomes and habitats and whatever, but it's like the desert biome in particular is so limited. It's not like there's so many people that don't even have one close to them that they could go to. And the other thing too that we talked about before is like the way the blog post was initially written, it made it sound like Silicobra and Wiglet and what was the other one? Toadschool. It made it sound like those would be wild spawns like for the event, and then it said like they would be more frequently encountered in their natural habitats. So like the way that read to me is like everyone can get those spawns like anywhere, probably like only a couple, but then if you go to the habitat, you'll see a bunch.
I didn't see a single Toadscroll either.
Okay, so I did, but that's because like the park that I went to for doing my routes is like the forest biome or whatever, so I saw a decent number of Toadschool, but like that's just where I happened to be. But like but yeah, it's so frustrating that like I understand if you want these Pokemon to be like biome locked during like regular spawn times, but when it's an event like this, like it sucks that there's an event and people still can't get these things.
Yeah.
Like luckily like the Sandaconda is not very good, and like at least like Toadscroll's like been nerfed a little bit with Mudslap now, so it's a little less viable. But it's like from a competitive side, it sucks. It's so hard to get these things. And then like I think Toadschool just had the shiny released, and it's like people might be excited to hunt the shiny, but like you said, you didn't see a single one the whole event. Like
nope.
It's just I don't love the way that they handled this in general.
Yeah, it's look, if it's going to be essentially like a regional exclusive at this point, just say it's going to be like don't say the global release when globally most people can't get one. I would say make a crazy track. Like this ain't the anime. We ain't Ash Ketchum where we could do this 24/7, go hunt Pokemon for a living, like some people unfortunately can, right? Which is fine, but like most people, like they got like their regular jobs and lives to live. Like they
well, not only that, but
on their way to work or whatever at the park.
We're not like Ash Ketchum where we can just travel around for free either.
That too. Yeah. Like I'm not driving over like freaking 6-7 hours just to go to Arizona for a Silicobra. Like what? I
do know it did so I didn't really follow it closely. I never saw one the whole event, but it did seem like I heard that like at the beginning of the event they were more common in some areas, and then they were like super regional, and then they came back a bit or something. Because I know people in some parts of California got it. Like I think like Jet from San Diego, I think I saw he got a bunch. Mm-hmm. And I know some people from up in like the Central Coast got some. So like it seemed like
There's
I don't know
in California for sure, but
but like I don't even know if those were. I think they might have expanded it slightly for the event for some parts. I don't really know for
or
sure.
Maybe it was before they. So what happened before the 982? Were they more around everywhere, or were they less?
So apparently, like I don't know. It changed multiple times. I heard that like at the very beginning of the event they were more around. Again, not like truly global, but they were in more areas. And then it got like scaled way back. And then it got, I think maybe the Niantic tweet increased a little, and then maybe it increased more after or something. Again, I didn't really follow it because I still never saw a single one the whole event. But like people in the areas that did, some of the areas that got it, like did note that like because I saw some people like from my old community in like San Luis Obispo, and it was like at the beginning of the event they had the spawns, and then they were gone, and then they came back at the very end of the event or something. So I'm not really sure all the details there. I didn't follow super closely, but it seemed like it changed multiple times throughout.
Yeah. Oh, anyway. I think the event the routes were fine, but I was really hoping to get some Toad Screw and Silicobra in the process as well, but instead of just 4 sunglass, good layer in Corsa, but it is what it is. Well, we'll keep that in mind for future sakes. All right. We have a few YouTube comments, and we'll just wrap it up here. There's some Poppy and Gen comments, so we'll wait till Kaz comes back next week for that one. So just a couple here. Boardstiff says, while routes are hardly exciting, I don't understand the broad dislike of them among players. I've made a few, and often they are approved and put into the game instantly. Okay, I will say this before I read the rest of it. I submitted one back in 2022, and it's still pending. I still see on my account it's pending. So I haven't submitted one since, but maybe that one just lost in like the backlog. I don't know. But anyway, I've lived in different cities and have been able to chain together multiple routes on my commute to work. They are overpowered for gaining buddy hearts without a poffin because there's no cooldown for gaining excitement points with your buddy. There are worse things in the game that gets less hate, like Dynamax battles. Yeah, I think the thing with routes is I think I can only speak from a personal opinion, right? And maybe things I've heard from other people. There's a few things to it. One is that you have to walk a specific way, like a specific route, right? Obviously, it's in the name. Like it's like when you use instance, you could choose where you go, right? I think it depends a little bit on where you live. Like for me, like because I live in the city, and it's like I'm in the city. There's a lot of places I don't feel safe walking, like routes like that are set routes. Obviously, a lot like it's not like there's like a shooting or a stabbing or something every single day in that area, but there are times where I'm just like, I'm not doing this route unless I'm in a car. Like I cannot safely walk this, right? I think it's just more so you are restricted to play how you want to play. You have to walk a specific way, walk a specific route, whatever. And sometimes the routes like do not update very frequently, like accurately either. Or some of them are just freaking zigzagging all over the street. I'm like, bro, I'm not about to cross the street midway with no like intersection, like cross section, right? Like it's like making me try to like I had to jaywalk to like do this.
Well, also
some that might be a poorly made route,
Huh? Maybe. Well, I was gonna say also like some areas it might be like the only route options are like super long or inconvenient or something.
Yeah.
I think part of my like gripe with routes is just that like, and like I don't really engage in Dynamax either, but Dynamax feels like its own like part of the game, but routes feel like they're just sort of thrown in, and there's certain times where they just try to force us to do routes,
like to finish a special research, time research,
exactly,
level up. I do think though that a good way to incentivize routes is events like this. Because like I was like for once like actually excited to do them, right? Yeah, I didn't get that many good in Corsola, but there was always a chance, right? what's my incentive to do a route right now? Get one cell out of 200 plus something that I need for a Zygarde that I probably won't evolve because mine is crap IVs. You know, like it's like the incentive is not there to do.
Hey man, your incentive is to see Mateo.
Sure. Dude, I didn't even exchange a single gift for Mateo this week. I'm like, bro, I'm in it now. I'm trying to complete the route and just, you know.
I will say my Mateos, I think all my gifts all came from Asia this time. So maybe I was just misremembering or got unlucky.
Maybe someone Niantic's heard the calls and like, yeah, we gotta get rid of these Kansas gifts for Tristan.
But yeah, the thing too with the routes is like, in terms of the Zygarde too, like, first of all, why is the Zygarde cell not guaranteed?
Yeah, dude, the fact that the cells and you don't auto collect it. Like I finished a route this past week and I didn't collect it in time. I didn't see the cells. Like I pressed complete right when I saw the cells pop up. And I was like, oh shoot, well there goes my chance to collect them.
They're also like a little hard to see sometimes. They're kind of
That's small. What I'm saying. Yeah, because like at the very end. Like if it came midway through the route, it's different. It's always at the very end, right?
Yeah, it's at the very end. And like, yeah, I'm always afraid to end it because I'm like, what if I didn't see the cell? Yeah. But like so many times you don't get it. And yeah, why doesn't it auto collect? Or even better, why can't it be when you click complete route? Why can't it be like, do you want to claim your cell or just auto claim the cell at that point or something? Like that interface seems questionable. But yeah, the big thing too is like, why are the cells not guaranteed? Like at least one, or even give a chance to get more than one cell or something. Like I don't know.
There's a few things that are frustrating with it in the sense that also like sometimes like I wish if you completed the route, you could press complete route anytime after you finish the route. You don't have to be sitting very on top of the finish line to do it, you know? Because like there'll be times where like I walk past and I'm like trying to double back and like it's just not. I even tweeted out about this and people were trying to give me advice and like, you know, I honestly none of the advice actually works. I just quit the route and redid it from start to finish because I'm just like, bro, I don't like it. It's just not working. It's just not allowing me to complete it for whatever reason. You know, I restarted the app. I sat on top of it. I retraced all my steps. Nothing. You know, I was like, I'm just gonna do it from scratch, I guess. But just yeah, like little things like that are just really frustrating, right? Like if you complete the route just a light, it's just like if you complete a research, it's like, oh, you go and collect the research within a minute of you completing it. That would be crazy, right? What if you can't? Then what happens, right? Like,
well, that and I was gonna say too, like the thing with routes is like I don't know, I don't necessarily feel like they're that enjoyable or that they're really adding something to the game.
Yeah.
Right? Versus like, again, I don't do Dynamax either, but it's adding a different aspect to the game. Versus routes are just like...
It's adding a more restricted way of walking.
Of walking and catching and catching. Yeah. And it's like, oh, there's maybe a couple special spawns there. And you have a chance of getting a Zygarde cell, and like that's about it.
I think if the regular daily rewards for it were higher, and maybe there's like more rare encounters that are more rewarding, then it's worth it. But that's just my take, right? I think like, you know, again, if someone like Board Stiff or other people enjoy the routes, then that's fine, right? I'm not here to like rain on anyone's parade, but me personally, it's still one of my least favorite parts of the game.
Yeah,
but to be fair, I'm not Dynamaxing every day either, right? Like I
exactly.
You know? Like that's a part I don't engage in. I don't really engage in the snapshots, like the AR photos. Like I don't do those kind of things either. So it's not like I'm saying like, oh, routes are so much worse than like the AR photos or whatever. Like no, it's just like, you know, there's certain parts of the game that are more for others than for yourself, and you know, etc. And that's okay. You know, I don't like I'm never in the boat like we need to get rid of routes, right? That's just a terrible like I think like
there's some fine. They're just not something that I'm like super motivated to go do because
it could use a rework. I'll put it that way. How about that? You know, it's like when they reworked the Mega system, right? And they gave you extra bonuses. Like it gave me incentives to actually have a Mega 3. You know, before I was just like, bro, I'm not touching a Mega. I'm not rating. Like I'll rate a Mega once just to have the deck entry, I guess. But you know, I wasn't like as in tune with it. But now the Megas are actually really useful for many reasons, right? In PvP, collecting more resources, all that stuff. So that was like in my mind a really, really good rework that they did. And not to say the Mega system is perfect by any means, but they drastically improved it and made people actually excited about it. And some people maybe were excited already, right? But I think routes can go through potentially something similar. And honestly, again, I think if it's just like maybe more cells, maybe better and like rewards when you complete the routes.
I will say I did
right?
I did get an elite TM from finishing one of my routes.
Yeah,
so,
I saw
like,
a screenshot. I wasn't sure that was your screenshot or not, but I saw that you posted a screenshot on it, which is kind of wild. Yeah, that's I remember that was a thing early on when like a bunch of spoofers were spoofing the routes, but that's got to still be a very rare occurrence, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's super common, but it's still an option. I don't know what else is in there, but like, yeah, maybe if those were like, again, I haven't done routes enough to say, but like, I don't know, like, if they had like rare XLs in there, maybe that would be cool. And again, like having maybe a slightly higher drop rate of stuff like rare XLs and elite TMs, and like cells. Again, the cells, like, I would love to see like. Because the thing is, again, I think it's like you can only get cells on your first 3 routes of the day, but it's not even guaranteed or something.
Yeah.
So like I would love to see like at least have like a guaranteed cell on your first 3 routes of the day, and then maybe at least the first 3 routes also have the chance of getting like an additional cell or something. Like that would be way better than this, like you might not even get one at all. Because that just feels bad, right? Like, because it just doesn't feel worth it. Like, oh, well, I could do 3 routes every day, and maybe I'll get cells, or maybe I'll get no cells. Like, that just doesn't feel worth it. But if I knew I was at least getting 1 cell for the first 3 routes of a day, it would feel a little bit more worth my time.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just our thoughts on it. Of course, like, if you like routes how it is, that's fine too, right? But I'm not a regular router. JJN says, I'm surprised Chicago wasn't mentioned as a potential NIC host location given its most logical destination. There's a reason Niantic Scopely put so many Go Fest there. Centrally located relative to the US population, major airport with easy domestic and international access, popular to visit. Also, largest convention center in the US. What? Also, P.S. If anyone's attending LA or NIC, I'll have plenty of Silicobra. Oh, right, because JJN's yeah, he's from Arizona, right? So he's going a lot. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Good to know. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't think about Chicago, but I didn't realize it was the largest convention center in the US.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Dope though, if they do like Go Fest the weekend before and then NAIC the following weekend, they just like lock it back to back. That would be nice. Because then people would definitely go to Go Fest in all likelihood, in person.
Yeah, because I know they've done. Yeah, it hasn't been the same city, but like last year was what, New York Go Fest, and then a week later was New Orleans NAIC, and then this year's like similar, Chicago Go Fest and New Orleans NAIC.
Yeah,
like back-to-back weeks, and then like we also had a couple years ago where it was Osaka Go Fest the week before Yokohama Worlds.
So that was a good one. Yeah,
but those have all been in like different cities in the same country. So
yeah, same city though, that could be pretty nice. That could be very, very convenient. It does take some coordination, I think, between Niantic and TPCI, because obviously they're two different orgs, two different companies hosting the events. But if they could, I mean, I think so far they've done a good job. Well, I don't think it's coincidental, but I feel like Niantic would not host like Go Fest like in North America, in US Go Fest on the same weekend as NIC, right? And same thing for like Europe. PGCS, they actually kind of overlapped the Go Fest like a year or two ago, but with PGCS, but PGCS
I remember that
attendance than EYC.
Yeah.
But that could be a good one. Yo, Niantic people, maybe TPCI people are listening. Write it down as a note. No need to credit JJan. Well, I'm speaking for JJan's half, but I think JJan would be happy about that one if they did it. Yeah, maybe JJan wants some credit. I don't know.
And also on the NAC topic, Jiraka messaged me. He was saying that he thought the reason there haven't been regionals in like New York and Massachusetts is due to like gambling laws, which like is certainly possible. Yes. I don't know the specific gambling laws, but I know that is like a reason why like certain countries as well as certain like states don't have regionals.
Like if they don't have casinos in New York and Massachusetts, Like,
it's not even that necessarily.
Well, but if they could host casinos there, okay, casinos that aren't owned by natives, right? Because natives, I think, have like different laws they can operate under. But if they don't have general casinos, that's probably, and they've never been able to have one for those reasons, then it's probably a gambling law issue too.
Even if there are casinos, I think there can be gambling law issues because
really,
yeah, like I don't know how it all works, but like
what are you winning from the casinos though?
no, I'm saying like the way that Pokemon is classified might be slightly different than the casinos. Like, I don't know how all that legal stuff works. So like
I see. But okay. Well, good to know. And Peter Rushworth says the opposite of a steel trap is a sieve. What's a sieve? Sieve.
I
Well,
think
henceforth known as marshmallow picnic. What is a sieve? It's a tool used to separate smaller particles from larger ones or to strain liquids by passing materials through a woven mesh or perforated surface. Commonly includes sifting flour, straining liquids. Oh, yeah.
just let it all
definitely
through.
the opposite of a steel trap. A lot of things are leaking out of that one. I'm keeping some stuff, though. But, yeah. Marshmallow picnic sounds better. But good to know. The sieve is a possible option. All right. We'll talk about the Gen Coms next time. And we've been rambling on for quite a while. So hopefully this was a good way to pass your traffic and stuff. Best of luck to people that are competing in Poland this upcoming week. And hopefully.
Wait, Poland?
Is it in Poland?
I don't think Prague is in Poland, is it?
Oh, sorry. Where was Prague at?
Czech Republic.
Oh, Czech Republic. Why did I think it was Poland? I feel like I said Poland some other time ago and no one corrected me. Okay, Czech Republic. Yeah, yes. You're right. Sorry. Uneducated American here. Anyway.
Gotta check your information there.
Oh. What you think we live in, huh? A republic? Anyway, best of luck to you all, and we'll see kind of how the meta develops with more Tinkaton. And yeah, let us know your thoughts down below on anything we talked about. And of course,
we covered a whole lot.
We sure did. And no Kaz Corner, but we still covered a whole lot. And yeah. If you want to support the podcast, feel free to check out merch. Link down below. But until next time, hope you have a great one, and we'll catch you all later. Peace.